Question: what's the worst thing humanity has ever made? TikTok? Call of Duty Warzone? The atomic bomb? Yeah, they're all terrible things, but there's something even worse than that. And it's the topic of our video today. That's right, today we'll be recapping Miraculous: Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. This show has a series of infamous moments ranging from Marinette simping on Adrien.
You're so good at sneezing, Adrien.
To humans acting like animals for no good reason. Yeah, I hate this show, and you're here to hate watch it too. So let's not make this any longer than it has to be. Let me give you a platform in case you haven't seen the show. In the world of Miraculous, there are about 19 different pieces of super-powered jewelry. Each one is tied to a kwami, a magical little creature that embodies a concept like creation and destruction. Our focus is gonna be on Marinette Chang, aka Ladybug, and Adrien Agreste, aka Cat Noir. Cat Noir's powers let him destroy anything he touches, while Ladybug's power creates an object that will help her save the day, even if it seems ridiculous. Oh, and if they ever find out each other's true identities, they'll have to give up their powers. Since you know all that, we can begin. Our story begins with Nuru, the kwami of the butterfly brooch, telling this evil-ass guy Hawk Moth about the origins of the Miraculous.
Throughout history, heroes have used these jewels for the good of the human race.
Centuries ago, this magical jewelry was made, with different powers given to each piece. The strongest of these are the Ladybug earrings with the power of creation, and the cat ring with the power of destruction. Hawk Moth, being evil and all, wants both of these rings, and he plans to use Nuru's ability to create supervillains and find them. Great start! This negative energy is felt by Waze, the kwami of the turtle bracelet. Waze tells his owner, Master Wong Fu, that he senses Nuru being used by someone who's up to no good. Now, Master Wong Fu is the protector of the miraculous jewelry, but realizes he can't do this alone anymore. He needs help, so he grabs the jewels and heads out to look for worthy people. 'Cause he's gonna find them in the streets of Paris. We then cut to Marinette, just a regular young blue-haired girl. Her mom is Chinese and her dad is French, and Marinette is the best of both worlds. Right now though, she's just worried about starting a new year at high school and being bullied by Chloe Bourgeois, the daughter of the mayor of Paris. Yeah, that's her name. Anyway, on her way to school, Marinette sees Master Wong crossing the street and helps him across, before heading off like it's no big deal. But it is a big deal, she just doesn't know that yet. Anyway, she goes to school and is getting picked on by Chloe as usual. That's when the new kid, Alia Césaire, stands up for Marinette. Alia is a glasses-wearing cutie who's gonna be Marinette's bestie and Ladybug's #1 fan, but that's later. For now, we see Chloe thirsting over Adrien. You see, Adrien is a hotshot model who wants to go to high school like a normal kid, but his dad, Gabriel Agreste, is against it. Still, Adrien is in his rebel era and goes to school anyway. On his way, Adrien finds the time to help out Master Wong too. Meanwhile, Hawk Moth begins creating supervillains using a butterfly called an akuma, and starts with a kid from Marinette's class named Ivan. He turns Ivan into a giant stone monster called Stoneheart, which begins tearing Paris apart. Marinette and Adrien get back home to find mysterious boxes in their room. They open them, and that's when they meet their kwami. Master Wong has picked both of them to inherit the Miraculous. They're gonna be superheroes. Marinette meets the Ladybug kwami Tiki, and Adrien meets the cat kwami Plague. After a bit of pushback, both teenagers agree to put on their jewelry, and we see their first transformations into Ladybug and Cat Noir. Okay, that's iconic. They then go out to test their powers and crash land into each other.
Yes.
Ouch. But there's no time for chit-chat, because Stoneheart is on his way to take revenge on a kid that made fun of him. Luckily, Cat Noir saves him and they start fighting. After getting over her performance anxiety, Ladybug manages to pull through, and she helps Cat Noir turn Ivan back to normal. All she had to do was believe in herself. Unfortunately, she didn't capture the Akuma, and now Stonehearts are popping all over Paris. Seeing this, Marinette decides she's not good enough to be Ladybug and takes off her earrings, while Hawk Moth's evil laugh ends the episode. The next episode starts with Marinette still questioning her ability to be Ladybug, but Alia filmed her first superhero moments up close and she fully believes in Ladybug even though she doesn't know it's Marinette. Meanwhile, Chloe is picking on Ivan and Hawk Moth plans to use that negativity to turn him into a monster again. But Marinette talks to Ivan and cheers him up. She's a superhero in and out of costume. Meanwhile, Marinette slips her Ladybug earrings inside Alia's bag. She thinks Alia is way more suited to be a superhero. Meanwhile, since Adrien knows Chloe, everyone thinks he's an asshole too, which upsets him. Luckily though, he meets Nino Lahife, a chill and laid-back dude who loves to DJ and who'll end up being Adrien's best friend. Meanwhile, Ivan gets rejected by his crush, which gives Hawk Moth the perfect chance to turn him back into Stoneheart, and this time, he has backup. Uh-oh. Stoneheart kidnaps Mylene and Nicole and makes a run for it. Adrien chases him as Cat Noir, while Marinette is still iffy about herself.
You go. I'm finding myself a safe place to hide.
But when Alia is in danger, Marinette finally believes in herself and transforms into Ladybug, saving her friend. She then saves Chloe's life, unfortunately, and uses her powers to kick Stoneheart's ass. Still, they need to capture the Akuma, and Marinette has a plan. Instead of separating Ivan from Mylene, they need to bring them closer together. So, the superheroes go to the top of the Eiffel Tower where Ivan is holding Mylene. There, Ladybug makes Mylene kiss Ivan, which makes him drop her. The two heroes then save their classmates, capture the Akuma, and put an end to Hawk Moth's evil plans. For now. The next day, Adrien finally gets permission to go to high school. Marinette also finds the courage to stand up to Chloe. After school, Adrien clears up the confusion between him and Marinette, and it's clear there's some romantic tension here. I sure hope this doesn't drag on for 5 seasons. The next episode starts with Adrien finding a book behind a painting of his mom, and for some reason, it has information on all the Miraculous. Huh? Adrien nabs the book and takes it to high school, where everyone is fawning over the new girl, Lila Rossi. Lila is super into Adrien, and it makes Marinette really dangerous, so she goes to investigate. That's when Tiki sees the book Adrien got from his dad, and says she needs to get her hands on it.
For real?
Meanwhile, Lila reveals that she's got a Miraculous too. It's a fox Miraculous, and her alter ego is Volpina. All lies, by the way. Lila even says she's friends with Ladybug, all so she can get close to Adrien. So, Marinette transforms into Ladybug and humiliates Lila.
So, I'm guessing you're not a descendant of a superhero either?
She's more like a super liar.
Unfortunately, this fills Lila with jealousy, and Hawk Moth immediately recruits her. With her newfound power of illusions, Lila convinces Cat Noir and Ladybug she's on their side, before splitting them up and trying to steal their Miraculous. Ladybug sees through the illusion though and gives Cat Noir the update. Adrien tries reasoning with Lila, but it's useless. Ladybug shows up and the chase is on. Lila is using her illusions to trick Ladybug, but Cat Noir snaps her out of it, and combining their powers helps them take her down. They let Lila go, but it's not the last we'll see of her. Not by a long shot. Meanwhile, we see the main issue in our MC's love story. Marinette is into Adrien, and Adrien is into Ladybug. Awkward. The episode ends with Tiki taking Ladybug to officially meet Master Wong Fu. Lore time, I guess. Season 2 starts with Marinette meeting Master Wong. For real this time. Turns out Master Wong is the last guardian of the Miraculous. Marinette hands him the book she found, and Master Wong says she needs to find out who it belongs to. The person could be Hawk Moth.
yourself face to face with Hawk Moth.
I'll be very careful. I promise.
Meanwhile, Adrien's dad Gabriel realizes the book is missing and grounds Adrien forever. Can he legally do that? I don't know. Anyway, Marinette does some digging and finds out that the book belonged to Adrien's dad. And her suspicion is right. Gabriel is Hawk Moth. But Gabriel is too smart to be caught like that. He uses his own Akuma on himself and turns into the Collector. Now armed with a magic book, the Collector starts collecting everything he touches inside of his book. Kinda horrifying when you think about it. Anyway, Ladybug and Cat Noir show up to fight him, and with some quick thinking, manage to overload his book and get rid of the Akuma.
My book! No!
Now that Gabriel has turned back to normal, the heroes don't suspect him of being Hawk Moth at all, which is exactly what he wanted. Later, Marinette returns the book to Gabriel and Adrien can come to high school again. But while the Collector is gone, Hawk Moth is far from done. Episode 10 starts with Marinette and Alia babysitting Alia's little sisters. But when the twins do a little too much buffoonery, Alia gets mad at them. Hawk Moth then uses the twins' anger to recruit them, turning them into little red monsters called sapotes. These devils multiply when they eat something, and it takes about 5 minutes for them to ransack all of Paris. Cat Noir and Ladybug try to stop them. But Ladybug's powers give her a hint. She needs to see Master Wong. Master Wong then tells her to pick a single Miraculous and give it to someone she trusts to help stop the sapotes. And I think I know who she's picking. As expected, Ladybug hands the Fox Miraculous over to Alia, who turns into Volpina. Now, with 3 superheroes instead of 2, the job is much easier. With Volpina's illusions, Cat Noir's destructive powers, and a freaking unicycle from Ladybug, the heroes take out the sapotes and return Alia's sisters to normal. In the end, Alia returns the Miraculous, even though she loved being a superhero. Oh, she's so great, isn't she? With that, the 2 girls finally get to enjoy their sleepover. Episode 14 starts with the heroes capturing some escaped zoo animals. Meanwhile, a girl named Ondine is hanging out with her swimming partner and friend, Kim. She has a big-time crush on Kim, but before she can confess, he goes off to see a movie with Chloe. This makes Ondine jealous as hell, and Hawk Moth turns her into Siren, a mermaid monster that floods the entire city of Paris with water. A bit of an overreaction if you ask me. She then hijacks Kim, so Marinette transforms into Ladybug to save the day. After one failed attempt at saving Kim, Ladybug heads off to seek Master Wong's help. There, they create a secret recipe to give their Kwamis extra powers. Tiki drinks it, and now she can help Ladybug breathe underwater. Master Wong delivers the same potion to Plagg and Cat Noir, and the heroes are aquatic now. Together, they get Kim away from Siren and turn her back into Ondine.
Looks like I got a nibble. Thank you for keeping your promise, milady.
In the end, Ondine and Kim end up dating each other. Meanwhile, Master Wong formally introduces himself to Adrien and lets him in on the lore. The episode kicks off with celebrities from all over the world coming to Paris for the yearly fashion show hosted by Gabriel Agreste, aka Hawk Moth. It's Marinette's debut as a designer. Adrien will be walking with her hat on. Anyway, the real story here is Audrey Bourgeois, Chloe's mom. She's basically the goddess of fashion, and she's here with her family. But Gabriel purposefully disrespects her, making her mad. He then uses that anger to turn her into Style Queen, a villain that can turn anything into gold. Style Queen starts with Adrien. Before turning a bunch of people into gold and flying off to find Gabriel. Uh-oh. She doesn't find him, so she heads out to set a trap for Ladybug and Cat Noir instead. Unfortunately, Cat Noir is already a gold statue, so it's just Ladybug, and she is not having a good time. Luckily, she has Master Wong to rely on, who gives her the Bee Miraculous to give to a friend. Ladybug tries giving it to Alia until Style Queen zaps her into gold too. The ring slides away, and Ladybug manages to take down Style Queen without it. Marinette then heads back to the fashion show, but there's one problem. She forgot the Bee Miraculous, and the worst possible person has just found it, Chloe. The next episode starts with us seeing why Gabriel wants Cat Noir and Ladybug's Miraculous to bring his wife and Adrien's mom, Emily Agreste, back to life. But after Style Queen's failure, Gabriel just gives up. No more Hawk Moth. Gabriel comes out in public for the first time since his wife's death and hugs his son. What's more, he and Audrey both love Marinette's hat, and Audrey offers to take her to New York and make her a fashion designer. This makes Chloe super jealous, and she decides to reveal the Bee Miraculous in front of everyone and become the superhero Queen Bee. Chloe then stages a train accident to gain credit.
A new superhero?
Who is it?
But Ladybug and Cat Noir save the day and expose her both. Chloe is now super jealous, and Gabriel recognizes this. So, Hawk Moth is back and turns her into Queen Wasp. She becomes a people-paralyzing monster, with Ladybug and Cat Noir having a tough time dealing with her. But when Ladybug's power creates a snorkel, the heroes drag Queen Wasp into the water and turn her back into Chloe. Marinette then turns down the chance to go to New York and patches up the relationship between Audrey and Chloe instead. Episode 22 kicks off with Chloe showing some BS presentation about how she's a superhero and close friends with Ladybug. When everyone makes fun of her for it, Chloe decides she's had enough. She and her mom are moving to New York. This leaves her dad, the mayor of Paris, super depressed, and Hawk Moth turns him into Maledictator. Now, a supervillain, Maledictator starts tearing apart the high school, wreaking havoc. He uses his powers to make Cat Noir act like a real cat.
I declare that you are a cat!
While Ladybug heads off to Master Wong. There, she grabs the Bee Miraculous and decides to give it to Chloe. After, Chloe admits that this whole mess is her fault. With Cat Noir out of commission, it's up to Ladybug and Chloe to save the day. Ladybug takes out Maledictator's guards, while Chloe uses her bee power to freeze Maledictator in place, and everyone is saved. Later, everyone at high school throws Chloe a party for saving Paris, and even though she's still a brat, she seems like a much nicer brat now. Like Ladybug said, baby steps. The following episode kicks off with Heroes Day in Paris. Everyone has to do one good deed. For months now, Gabriel has been waiting for this day. He's gonna use Lila's jealousy of Ladybug to transform her again. Meanwhile, Marinette gets a little cocky and promises to make a bunch of treats for everyone. So she spends her entire day doing that. Meanwhile, Hawk Moth turns Lila into Vulpina again, and she uses her illusions to make all of Paris think that Ladybug has killed Cat Noir. That's a devious frame job. Hawk Moth then turns his assistant Natalie into a villain named Catalyst, who in turn boosts Hawk Moth's power, turning him into Scarlet Moth. Scarlet Moth then uses the despair all around Paris to turn multiple people into villains. Seeing this, Ladybug and Cat Noir know they need help. So instead of one extra hero, they have all three of Alia, Nino, and Chloe transform into heroes. And together, they're gonna take down Scarlet Moth and his army. The next episode kicks off with the good guys kicking the bad guys' asses. It's going well. Unfortunately, this was all a trap by Scarlet Moth. He turns Chloe's parents back into Style Queen and Maledictator, and uses their help to turn every hero except Cat Noir and Ladybug into villains. The heroes escape underground, but are still being chased by villains old and new. They manage to put up a fight, but are outnumbered. That's when the people of Paris join them. With their help, Ladybug and Cat Noir destroy Scarlet Moth's staff, turning him back into Hawk Moth. With the other heroes back, they're about to catch Hawk Moth until Natalie uses the previously unknown Peacock Miraculous to save Hawk Moth. Plot convenience, am I right? Hawk Moth gets away, but the day is saved, and the episode ends on a bombshell. Marinette kisses Adrien in front of everyone. That girl's got guts! Season 3 kicks off with Lila back at school, and she's peddling her lies to get Adrien and everyone to like her. This makes Marinette jealous, and Hawk Moth tries to recruit her, but fails. Still, he doesn't give up and tries again after Marinette confronts Lila about her lies, and Lila threatens to ruin her reputation. Marinette manages to resist the Akuma again, but when Adrien calls out Lila for her lies too, Lila's ready to accept the Akuma.
Come here, Akuma.
This time, Hawk Moth turns her into Chameleon and uses her powers to knock out Adrien and impersonate him. Oh boy! Now disguised as Adrien, Lila goes around being a tool to everyone and takes her shenanigans to the Eiffel Tower. Ladybug chases her and knows that's not Adrien. Their fight begins and she uses her trickery to almost get Ladybug. But Cat Noir shows up. Chameleon takes his shape though and the fight is on again. But using her powers and quick thinking, Ladybug tricks Chameleon into turning into a clam and turns her back to normal. But Lila hasn't given up her lies and promises to ruin Marinette's life. Bit of an overreaction, but you do you, girl. The next episode starts with our heroes in an elevator, but they have a problem. They've lost their memories.
Fast!
Over there!
This is thanks to a new villain Hawk Moth created named Oblivio, and he's chasing the heroes down. As they hide, Marinette and Adrien deduce that not only are they superheroes, they're dating each other. Their Kwami have lost their memories too, and Plagg just leaves. Asshole! Meanwhile, Tiki, Adrien, and Marinette do their best to hide from Oblivio while trying to figure out how to turn into superheroes again. Watching footage of their fight against Oblivio, Marinette finds a clue and calls Master Wong. He tells her how to transform into Ladybug, and she does it. She tells Adrien to stay behind and goes after Oblivio herself. She's struggling in the fight, but Adrien shows up in a cardboard costume to help her. What a guy! That's when Plagg comes back and Adrien turns into Cat Noir. Together, they return Oblivio to normal. And it turns out it was Nino and Alia together. Before gaining back their memories, Ladybug and Cat Noir kiss, and Alia gets a picture of it. She shows it to them when they gain back their memories, and Adrien is super happy, while Marinette is conflicted. This will they won't they is kinda getting annoying now. The next episode starts with Miss Mendeleev, a teacher at Marinette and Adrien's high school, seeing Tiki and Plagg. She tries reporting her findings to the world, but nobody believes her, and they just mock her instead. This leads to a bunch of negative emotion, and Hawk Moth uses it to transform her into Kwami Buster. Ladybug and Cat Noir, who are dangerously close to finding out each other's true identities by the way, show up to fight her. But disaster strikes when Kwami Buster manages to steal Tiki from Ladybug, turning her back into Marinette. She also steals away Plagg from Adrien, and the two heroes are forced to hide so they can keep their identities a secret and stay alive. Drastic times call for drastic measures, so Marinette does something crazy. She puts on all of the Miraculouses. Using their combined powers, she takes down Kwami Buster. She also uses her smarts to hide her identity. Adrien won't discover she's Marinette anytime soon. The next episode starts with Marinette joining Alia on a trip to the museum. There, they see a new statue, and it has the mark of the Guardians of Miraculous on it. Turns out, that statue is a powerful evil called the Senta Monster. Master Wong accidentally created it using the Peacock Miraculous, which has the power to create monsters, when he was young, and he lost everything because of it. Master Wong says he's gonna take the Miraculous and run away. He needs to escape the Senta Monster. Meanwhile, Natalie and Gabriel agree to use the Peacock Miraculous to take control of the Senta Monster, even though it seriously affects Natalie's health. Later that night, Natalie puts on the Peacock Miraculous and frees the Senta Monster, sending it after Master Wong.
Yummy! Miraculous!
Meanwhile, Master Wong collects Marinette and Adrien's Miraculous and tries to make a run for it, only to be chased by the Centimonster. Adrien and Marinette still protect Master Wong even without their powers, and Master Wong gives their Miraculouses back. Together, the heroes go inside the Centimonster and destroy it, saving Master Wong and restoring peace. Now that Hawk Moth knows Master Wong's identity, he has to go into hiding, but he'll always be there to help Marinette and Adrien. The next episode starts with all of Paris playing a game. It goes like this. You solve a riddle, get a random partner, and then keep solving riddles until you get to the prize. Adrien aggressed himself. Marinette is determined to win this one, cause of love and all that. Unfortunately, she gets paired with Kagami Tsurugi, a super talented girl who also has a crush on Adrien. How original. Super jealous, Marinette tries to sabotage their chances so Kagami won't win. But by the time she finds out Kagami is super lonely and has no friends, Kagami has already found out what Marinette was doing, and it breaks Kagami's heart. She was really trying to be friends with Marinette. Hawk Moth tries to transform Kagami, but Marinette patches things up with her just in time. Unfortunately, Kagami's mom finds out that she's out making friends and gets super mad. So, Hawk Moth transforms her instead. Ladybug and Cat Noir show up to fight Mrs. Tsurugi as she swallows her daughter. Marinette goes and gets the Dragon Miraculous and gets it to Kagami.
Wind Dragon!
After an initial mess up from Kagami, which makes Cat Noir get captured, she and Ladybug work together to free Cat Noir and turn her mom back to normal. Mrs. Tsurugi then agrees to let her daughter have friends, so Kagami and Marinette spend the day hanging out. Episode 25 starts with Marinette heading over to Chloe's parents' anniversary, accompanied by Luca, a cute musician who's really into her. She gets to the party, but it seems like there's not a lot of love left in this marriage. Anyway, Marinette hangs out with Kagami and Adrien, while Chloe's parents keep fighting. While Marinette, Adrien, and Kagami escape the party, Hawk Moth uses the lover's quarrel to turn both Audrey and the mayor into a single monster, Heart Hunter. Heart Hunter feasts on love and starts by devouring Marinette's parents. Meanwhile, Marinette comes to the conclusion that Adrien and Kagami are perfect for each other, so she leaves them and heads back to the party. That's when Heart Hunter attacks Ladybug. So she goes to Master Wong for help. She grabs the Dragon Miraculous to give to Kagami and recruits her just as she was gonna kiss Adrien. Convenient timing, eh? Anyway, Hawk Moth followed Ladybug and now he's face to face with Master Wong. The old man puts up a fight, but Hawk Moth steals the Miraculous. And he recruits Chloe to work with him. Heart Hunter disappears, and it looks like Kagami and Adrien are gonna get together. Meanwhile, Marinette just hugs Luca and cries. Her responsibilities are costing her everything, but the real fight has only just started. The next episode starts with Chloe, now Miracle Queen, sending out her wasps and mind-controlling everyone who's ever used a Miraculous in Paris. This includes Kagami, Luca, as well as Alia and Nino. Hawk Moth then gives them all their Miraculous.
You were once Ladybug and Cat Noir's minions, but from now on, you will be Miracle Queen's Royal Guard!
They're gonna use Ladybug and Cat Noir's friends against them. While Ladybug and Cat Noir deal with that mess, Hawk Moth and Natalie team up to take out Master Wong, who's holding on for dear life. By using multiple Miraculous, Ladybug and Cat Noir team up and get rid of Miracle Queen's team of Kwami users. Phew! Chloe tries to use all of the Miraculous at once, but the Kwami just tell her to buzz off. I love them. Meanwhile, Master Wong has his back against the wall, so he does the unthinkable. He names Ladybug the new guardian of the Miraculous and loses all his memories. Hawk Moth and Natalie make a run for it, and Ladybug and Cat Noir have to accept the fact that Master Wong won't be there to help them anymore. Oh no! Man! With that, Master Wong sets out to live the rest of his life in peace. while Marinette gives up on any chance she had with Adrien and focuses on Luca instead. But it's not a happy ending because Hawk Moth has fixed the Peacock Miraculous. Season 4 kicks off with Hawk Moth fixing the Peacock Miraculous and combining its powers with the Butterfly Miraculous to become Shadow Moth. Super bad guys coming your way soon, Marinette. Speaking of Marinette, she's having a really hard time juggling her responsibilities as guardian, Ladybug, and Luca's girlfriend. This leads to Luca being hurt by Marinette never really being around, and he asks her to tell him the truth, but Marinette can't. It's against the rules, and that breaks Luca's heart. Shadow Moth uses this to turn Luca into Truth, a villain that can make anyone reveal their secrets. Truth tries using this on Ladybug to reveal her identity, before getting sidetracked and using his ability on his mom to find out who his real dad is. I'm sorry, but that's hilarious. After that, Truth gets sidetracked again, and with Cat Noir's quippy lines distracting him, the heroes manage to turn him back into Luca and save the day. Later, Marinette breaks up with Luca because she can't be honest with him, and Luca just hugs her, saying he'll wait till she's ready. Poor guy. The next episode sees Adrien going through the exact same thing with Kagami as Marinette did with Luca. Whenever the two are alone and about to kiss, some bad guy shows up and Adrien has to run off. He could give her a quick kiss before leaving, but what do I know? Anyway, Kagami loves Adrien, but she has her limits like any human does, and now she's pissed. Shadow Moth uses her heartbreak to turn her into Lies, a villain that paralyzes anyone that has ever lied. Ladybug and Cat Noir need to be real creative to stop this villain, and they do by using a crocodile. Isn't that a safety hazard? Anyway, Kagami is back to normal, but she's kinda done with Adrien. Still, while Marinette and Adrien may have lost their lovers, at least Cat Noir and Ladybug have each other. The next episode sees Marinette becoming super frustrated. Being guardian and Ladybug means she basically has no social life. Alia and her friends try to cheer her up, but she just pushes them away to hide the Kwami. So Shadow Moth uses their sadness to turn them into the Gang of Secrets, and they immediately start chasing Marinette. Marinette ditches them thanks to the Fox Kwami tricks, and suits up to stop them. With Cat Noir's help, Ladybug corners Alia and pleads to her good side. So Alia breaks free of Shadow Moth's control and becomes Volpina with the Fox Miraculous. Together, the three heroes trick the Gang of Secrets and turn them back to normal, saving the day. Later, Marinette apologizes to her friends and makes up with them before having a private conversation with Alia. And Marinette reveals that she's Ladybug. But wait, isn't that like so against the rules? Are we just breaking the rules now? The next episode starts with Alia telling Marinette she needs to touch grass and take a break from guardian duties. Real. Marinette decides to use this time by patching up Kagami and Adrien's relationship. Has she lost her damn mind? Anyway, she does this while Adrien is filming a commercial with a bunch of pigeons that belong to Mr. Ramier. Anyway, Kagami keeps saying she wants nothing to do with Adrien, but Marinette is obsessed with getting them back together. I really think Marinette needs therapy. I digress. Marinette's obsession leads to Ramier getting blamed for messing up the commercial, and Shadow Moth turns him into Mr. Pigeon. Wow, a lot of effort went into that name. Mr. Pigeon starts transforming everyone into pigeons, and he gets Adrien too. So Alia uses the Fox Miraculous to help Ladybug.
But I do!
There you go.
And together, they turn Ramier back to normal and foil Shadow Moth's plans. Later, Kagami tells Marinette the truth. Marinette and Adrien are made for each other, and Kagami's giving up on him. I wonder if their stupid love story will ever end. The following episode sees Shadow Moth and Natalie come up with their best plan yet. Using a monster called Optigami, they're gonna lure all of Ladybug's friends out, leave only one, and then hide Optigami in the Miraculous so they can find out Ladybug's identity. They turn Audrey into Style Queen to help them, and the plan is working flawlessly, with each member of Team Ladybug being turned to gold one by one. They eventually get everyone but Alia, who goes superhero mode and goes to help Ladybug. So, Shadow Moth creates a fake version of Nino, who Alia gives the Turtle Miraculous, and Shadow Moth hides Optigami right inside it. What's French for "you're screwed"? fake Nino helps them take down Style Queen, and it looks like Optigami is gonna infiltrate Ladybug's home, but she notices Nino's behavior is off and exposes him as a fake. After taking him down, Marinette decides Alia should be a full-time hero. Meanwhile, Shadow Moth decides to focus on Alia instead of Ladybug. That's actually a smart plan from this bozo for once. Episode 14 kicks off with Marinette having a nightmare about Alia revealing her secret identity to everyone. She rushes over to Alia's house and realizes it was just a bad dream. That's when Shadow Moth sends Centibubbler to kidnap all of Alia's loved ones, including Marinette and Nino. He tells Alia to bring Ladybug over and betray her, otherwise he'll send everyone Alia loves straight into outer space. Now that's evil. But Alia won't lose that easily. Using her Miraculous, she creates an illusion of herself and hides in another room. From there, she sends Shadow Moth and Centibubbler on a wild goose chase using an illusion. With Cat Noir providing additional distraction, Alia uses her illusions to give Marinette the perfect window to transform into Ladybug and take out Centibubbler. She has to save Alia's family, so Shadow Moth gets away. Still, Marinette knows she was right to trust Alia with the Miraculous. Her best friend will never let her down. The following episode starts with Cat Noir, Ladybug, and Nino stopping some dinosaurs. But instead of that cool stuff, we have to focus on teenage romance instead. You see, after the whole Centibubbler thing, everyone thinks that Alia has stopped being Ladybug's go-to extra hero, even though she hasn't. As a result, Alia has to lie to everyone about working with Ladybug, including her boyfriend Nino. But instead of suspecting some superhero stuff, Nino thinks she's into Cat Noir. He sees them talking from afar, and even though Alia is literally telling Cat Noir how much she loves Nino, he thinks she's cheating on him. Idiot. Nino takes this theory to Adrien, who's disgusted to find out that not only are Nino and Alia both part-time superheroes, but they know each other's secret identities. Adrien feels betrayed by Ladybug, but that will have to wait because Shadow Moth just turned Nino into Rocketeer. Adrien transforms into Cat Noir and tries to calm Nino down, but he's hell-bent on killing Cat Noir until Ladybug and Alia show up, show him solid proof of Alia loving him, and save the day. Nino goes back to normal and everything is fine, except for the fact that Cat Noir is having trust issues. The next episode starts with Marinette's school doing a Pick Your Future Career Day, but Marinette and Adrien have the same problem. They don't know what to do. Marinette isn't sure about being a fashion designer anymore, and Adrien isn't sure about modeling. Luckily for them, Luca, the only sensible person around, gives them some great advice. He tells them to listen to their hearts and stay true to themselves. Adrien could never be this cool. You're an idiot, Marinette. Meanwhile, Shadow Moth turns a TV host into Wishmaker, someone who grants everyone's childhood wishes no matter how ridiculous. Now, get ready for some bullshit. Ladybug and Cat Noir show up, and Ladybug recruits Luca and gives him the Snake Miraculous. Its power turning back time to erase the hero's mistakes, which is the most busted thing ever. Wishmaker exposes Marinette's identity, so Luca just turns back time. He then exposes Adrien's identity, but Luca just turns time over and over and over again until they win. What's more, Luca knows who Cat Noir and Ladybug are, but does nothing about it. And the episode ends with Adrien and Marinette being just as clueless about their careers, but they're okay with it now? I hate this show. The next episode starts with Adrien being too busy to help out with a supervillain, and Ladybug has to do it with other superheroes. This does not sit well with Master Suhan, who's basically a super guardian of the Miraculous. Suhan is mad and will only calm down if he finds out Cat Noir's secret identity. So, Ladybug concocts a whole plan to use Luca's power to turn back time and stop herself from knowing Cat Noir's identity, until she finds out it's Adrien and abandons the whole plan. How mature. She does tell Suhan about it, but wonders what the hell she's gonna do now. After all, Adrien is in love with Ladybug. Time for more time travel shenanigans. So, after accepting that Adrien is Cat Noir, Marinette reveals her identity as well, and the two of them start dating. But it takes 1 day for Shadow Moth to figure out Adrien as Cat Noir, turn him into a villain, and steal his Miraculous. He then uses Adrien to steal Marinette's Miraculous and wishes for his wife to come back to life. This would destroy the universe for reasons I don't care to explain, so the Snake Kwame just goes back in time and stops the heroes from ever knowing each other's identities. Then they save the world from a problem they created, and for some reason, that convinces Suhan that they're good enough. Is he stupid? Episode 22 kicks off with Adrien being jealous that Ladybug and he don't get to spend as much time together. In fact, he's so upset that he decides to stop being Cat Noir. Marinette tries finding a replacement, but it's hopeless. She can't find anyone. Plag has an idea though. He says he'll find a new Cat Noir. He then goes back to Adrien and says that all Adrien has to do is pretend to be a new Cat Noir, with a personality that Ladybug will find more appealing. That's so not okay. Anyway, they come up with a new persona, Catwalker. He's cooler, calmer, and more collected than Cat Noir. Catwalker joins Ladybug in her mission to stop a giant black cat, and Ladybug is super attracted to him. But there's one problem. He's too perfect. She can't work with him. She takes down the giant cat anyway. And Catwalker says he'll return the ring to Cat Noir. The next day, Ladybug and Cat Noir make up and all is right again, until their next petty fight happens. The next episode starts with Ladybug and the heroes stopping yet another one of Shadow Moth's plans. That's when Shadow Moth realizes how to beat her. He needs Ladybug to take a risk. So he turns a kid into a villain named Risk, and his powers make everyone take more risks. This starts off normally, with Adrien rebelling against his father and Marinette building up the guts to confess to Adrien. But despite the heroes taking risks, it doesn't work. Gabriel forces Adrien to travel around the world for an ad campaign with Lila, ew, and Chloe stops Marinette from confessing her feelings to Adrien. Bummer. Here's when things get complicated. Adrien has a cousin named Felix, and they look exactly the same. Felix says he'll take Adrien's place and talk to his dad about not going on this stupid world tour. Adrien agrees, but it turns out Felix's plan was to investigate Gabriel with his gizmo gadget. And Felix's plan is successful because he finds out that Gabriel is Shadow Moth. He then tries to stand up against Gabriel, but gives in and goes on the tour posing as Adrien. Ladybug tries to stop him, but he leaves anyway, and that's when Shadow Moth attacks Paris with another monster named Strikeback. Meanwhile, the real Adrien makes it back home and finds Felix's gizmo gadget. Blah, blah. Like I said, complicated. The next episode starts with Adrien and Marinette suiting up to stop Strikeback, but they take too many risks and end up in a bad spot. Ladybug brings out the other heroes, but it turns out Strikeback can multiply and copy their powers. That's when Alia figures out that the little kid is responsible for risk-taking, and they need to stop him. To do this, Marinette recruits Felix, who she thinks is Adrien. She gives him a Miraculous,
Thanks to your superpower, you can locate any object that you've touched before.
and takes him back in time to learn where the kid is hiding his Akuma. After learning that, Adrien and her friends take down the Strikebacks and save the day. Shadow Moth is furious. How did Ladybug not make a mistake? Well, she did make a mistake. She gave Felix a Miraculous. Felix uses it to steal all of Ladybug's Miraculous and give them to Gabriel in exchange for the Peacock Miraculous. With that, Gabriel has every Miraculous except the Peacock, the Cat, and the Ladybug. His power is unimaginable. Ladybug is a crying mess, and she's ready to give up on everything. But Cat Noir has her back, and so does the city of Paris. They're gonna take down Shadow Moth together. Season 5 starts with my favorite. More time travel stuff! Shadow Moth, now calling himself Monarch, combines the power of the Miraculous and goes back in time to steal Ladybug and Cat Noir's magic jewelry using the Rabbit Miraculous. Fortunately for the good guys, the regular user of the Rabbit Miraculous, Alex, shows up from the future and helps them track down Monarch across different points in time. What's more, using so many Miraculous is seriously starting to weaken him. Still, he manages to get the drop on the heroes and has a clear shot at stealing their Miraculous in the past. However, he needs to feed his Kwame first and goes to Natalie for help. There, Natalie says that he doesn't need to defeat the heroes anymore. he can just go back in time and save his wife. Monarch agrees and is about to do that until he falls for the obvious trap Ladybug set for him, and she steals the Rabbit Miraculous off him. Alex then takes the Rabbit Miraculous and hides in a different time, so Monarch will never get his hands on the Rabbit Miraculous again. One down, baby! It was a fumble so big that even Natalie stopped supporting Gabriel. He's just too obsessed with Ladybug. Seriously, this grown-ass man chose to beef with a kid instead of saving his wife. What the hell? The next episode starts with Monarch having a genius plan. He's gonna use the Kwami to find Ladybug's true identity. There are a bunch of rules against it, and Monarch plans to find loopholes and succeed.
That is there. Take me to where Ladybug lives.
Just follow the smell of croissants.
Unfortunately for him, the Kwami send his dumbass on a wild goose chase throughout Paris, including Marinette's bedroom, and it ends with Ladybug and Cat Noir capturing him. Idiot! But Monarch is a psycho. He makes Cat Noir cataclysm his arm on purpose, and then escapes with all the Kwami. After getting duped so badly, Monarch decides to change his suit and turn all the Miraculous into rings. Yeah, buddy, that'll help you beat him, I promise. The next episode opens with Adrien being conflicted. You see, his dad has made this new tech called Alliance Rings, which are basically just rings with an image of Adrien as an AI assistant. Creepy. Adrien goes on to complain about this, but it turns out that Gabriel is super chill now. He's spending time with Adrien, letting him hang out with his friends, and is even coming to the parent-teacher conference. Suspicious stuff. Meanwhile, Nino gathers his friends to discuss a way to help Cat Noir and Ladybug, even though they don't have access to Miraculous anymore. But Lila is spying on them. Anyway, Nino plans to piss Gabriel off so he can be recruited by Monarch so they can get some info. But Gabriel knew this was going to happen, and uses the Fox Miraculous to cast an illusion to trick them into thinking it happens. Complicated? I know. Everything is in this show. Anyway, Monarch tries using the illusion to get the jump on Ladybug and Cat Noir, but Ladybug saves the day with the help of cheese and some rats. Again, everything is complicated. Still, Gabriel is completely out of their suspicion and is getting closer to defeating the heroes every day. I really wish he'd defeat them sooner so I could end this recap. Episode 8 starts with Marinette being conflicted. It finally looks like Adrien is catching feelings for her, and now she's catching feelings for Cat Noir. I actually hate them. Anyway, Marinette decides to ask an old user of the Ladybug Miraculous named Joan about falling in love with Cat Noir, hoping to get some answers. But before she can, Monarch recruits Alex's brother Jaleel, who's mad at Ladybug for making his sister disappear with the Rabbit Miraculous. So, Monarch turns him into Pharaoh, and he locks down the museum Marinette and her friends are in, making them answer all sorts of history questions. Using more time travel help from Alex, they manage to convince Pharaoh that Monarch is lying, shocker, and the day is saved. After that, Marinette asks Joan if a romance between Ladybug and Cat Noir is possible, and she says it is, but only if they give up their Miraculous. Great! Even more drama! Skipping all the BS, Adrien and Marinette finally start dating in episode 13, which is important to know moving forward. Episode 20 starts with Lila getting dunked on. You see, the whole Alliance Ring thing had her and Adrien as the mascots, but Gabriel replaced her with Kagami. Now, she's mad about it. She tries talking to Gabriel, but he tells her to buzz off. But she knows Gabriel is Monarch and decides to do something about it. So Lila uses her spare time to mess with Marinette. She decides to run as the new class rep, saying Marinette's too focused on her new relationship with Adrien to help them, and that she'll even help reform Chloe as proof. Of course, this is all a secret plan to mess with Marinette, but everyone seems to believe Lila, because everyone on this show is an idiot. Lila then convinces Monarch to turn her into a villain, and he happily does it. Using her new powers, Lila mind controls all of Paris and sends them after Marinette. But this is all a distraction. She secretly mind controls Natalie and makes her photograph all evidence of Gabriel being Monarch to her. She then gives up Monarch's power, pretending like she's a good person now. Marinette knows she's lying, but what she doesn't know is that Lila is plotting against Monarch, not Ladybug. The following episode opens with Lila and Chloe conducting their evil plan. Basically, they mess with everyone's career forms in their class, pushing them all into careers they don't want. This makes everyone super mad, and Monarch uses this to turn their friend Julika into a villain. She starts turning everyone into a clone of herself, and this is looking rough. Ladybug and Cat Noir stop the whole thing, but Lila tries pinning the blame on Marinette. Unfortunately for her, Marinette was prepared and exposes Lila and Chloe's whole plan. This leads to a whole drama between the principal and the mayor, because the mayor doesn't want Chloe to be expelled. The principal ends up fixing everyone's career forms, but it costs him his job. Now that's heroic right there. Anyway, the episode ends with Lila changing her identity to Cerise. Her evil plans are far from over. The very next episode starts with Adrien and Marinette's romance being disrupted when Chloe, egged on by Lila, uses her dad's influence to get Marinette expelled and their class teacher fired. Monarch fails at recruiting the teacher Miss Bustier because she's goated, but he'll have another chance soon. Lila then has Chloe storm a meeting between Gabriel and her dad, where she learns that Adrien will be going to London for school next year. Is that wimp gonna stand up to his dad or what? Anyway, Gabriel films the mayor completely out of context, painting him as a villain. He then uses this to turn Ms. Bustier into a villain. She wants to take out the mayor, but Ladybug and Cat Noir convince her to use words instead of violence. And wouldn't you know it, it works! The mayor resigns and Miss Bustier returns back to normal. Unfortunately, this means there's a power vacuum in Paris, and Little Miss Asshat steps in. Chloe has taken over as mayor of Paris, declaring Ladybug and Cat Noir as outlaws. Does the rest of the world have no problem with this? The next episode sees Monarch take full advantage of Chloe being mayor. Not only does he give her robot policemen to replace Cat Noir and Ladybug, but he juices them up with Kwami powers. This means that when people eventually start protesting against her, Chloe sends them to detention. And by detention, I mean prison. And both Adrien and Marinette end up there. Yeesh. They transform into Ladybug and Cat Noir and break out. They get captured by Chloe, but then rally the people of Paris. Everyone goes against Chloe, and in the confusion, Lila steals Adrien's computer. Meanwhile, Chloe is caught and her nonsense is finally put to an end, as her mom takes her away from Paris. Meanwhile, Adrien doesn't have the balls to say no to his dad. So, with one final kiss goodbye, Adrien flies off to London. And the only one happy right now is Lila. What is this bitch up to? Episode 24 begins with us realizing what Felix has been up to all this time. Turns out he's a good guy now, and he's in love with Kagami, who has also been forced to move to London by her mom. Together, Kagami and Felix decide to help Marinette, who they suspect is Ladybug. Meanwhile, Adrien heads back to Paris too. He's going to tell Marinette he's Cat Noir, but their romantic plans are foiled when Gabriel uses an Akuma on himself so he can track down his son. While everyone takes on the villain, Felix and Kagami decide to reveal the truth about Adrien to Marinette through a play. Has everyone in Paris just lost their damn minds? Anyway, as Adrien stops Gabriel with the help of his friends, Marinette learns the truth. Adrien isn't a normal kid. Gabriel and Emily created him using the peacock Miraculous. Jesus Christ, that's dark. And it's up to her to tell Adrien the truth. Just telling the love of your life that he's a puppet made by their worst enemy. I'm sure it'll go well. The following episode sees Gabriel start his master plan. Using the Miraculous, spreads nightmare powder all over the world, making everyone constantly see and feel their worst nightmares. He then plans to give a cure, which will be tied to his alliance rings. Create the problem, sell the solution. Capitalism 101. Completely trapped, Adrien has no choice. He tells Plague to return to Ladybug for now with his Miraculous. It's just like this loser to give up. After that, a bunch of stuff happens. Natalie tries to stop Gabriel, but he knocks her out and puts her aside. Marinette realizes Gabriel is Monarch, but can't bring herself to tell Adrien. Meanwhile, with 99% of the world now wearing alliance rings, Gabriel uses them to mind control everyone, turning them into monsters, and make them chase Ladybug. They track her down to Gabriel's home, where he finds out that Ladybug is Marinette. But at that moment, Plagg shows up, and Marinette unifies both rings to become Bug Noir. Okay, I would be lying if I said that wasn't a little cool. The following episode sees Bug Noir versus Monarch, and it's kinda badass. Despite all of his powers, Bug Noir is kicking Monarch's ass 7 ways from Sunday, and the villain is getting frustrated. While all of her friends fight off the mindless zombies the Alliance Ring created, Monarch finally gets the upper hand on Bug Noir, who just takes them underground. There, she learns that Gabriel was doing all of this to bring Emily back to life, and she's horrified. Finally, a normal reaction. As they fight, Marinette outsmarts Adrien and takes back half the Miraculous, pushing his butterfly Miraculous away as well. Using a video of Emily, she manages to convince him what he's been doing is super messed up. But instead of going to jail like he should, Gabriel uses the Ladybug and Cat Miraculous to make a wish.
Gimme, the Kwame of reality. I am everything that was, is, and will be.
Save the world from his alliance rings, and in return, Gabriel sacrifices his life. Wow, he just turned good in the end. How convenient. Anyway, Ladybug makes sure to tell everyone what a hero Gabriel was, and everyone respects him. Marinette and Adrien get to be together in peace, and Marinette decides that all her friends get to be permanent superheroes now. So the identity of literally every hero except these two is known, and that's not a problem at all. After that train wreck of a show, we still have 2 whole movies to get through, so I hope you guys are ready to cringe some more. The first special kicks off with Ladybug and Cat Noir stopping Mr. Pigeon from stealing the Eiffel Tower, standard stuff. After that, Marinette and Adrien head to school to learn that their entire class is going to New York for a week. Adrien is bummed because his dad won't let him go, so Marinette goes to ask Gabriel for permission, and it works, but only because Gabriel has found a lost Miraculous in New York, and he wants to use it for evil. Now, Ladybug tells Cat Noir to make sure Paris is safe in her absence, but since Cat Noir is going too, that means Paris has no one to protect it. Oh, that's gonna end well. Anyway, the class gets on the plane, and Marinette is trying her best to convince everyone that she's not in love with Adrien anymore. Yeah, right. During the flight, Adrien and Marinette end up watching a sunrise together, which is ruined when a villain named Techno Pirate attacks the plane. Unfortunately, Techno Pirate's attack lasts all of 3 seconds, because the Avengers, the United Heroes show up. Night Owl, who's basically Batman, Sparrow, who's basically Robin, Majestia is basically Wonder Woman, Uncanny Valley is kinda like Cyborg, except she's totally AI, and Doorman does portals. Anyway, they all show up and take down the bad guy, making sure everyone gets to New York safe and sound. In New York, Marinette, Adrien, Nino, and Alia befriend 2 girls named Aeon and Jess. You already know them though, they're Uncanny Valley and Sparrow. Anyway, Aeon and Jess team up with Nino and Alia for a super important mission, making Adrien and Marinette confess their feelings to each other. But when a romantic dance in the moonlight doesn't do the trick, they take a more drastic approach. Meanwhile, Gabriel recruits Techno Pirate, asking him to attack the museum the kids are visiting right now. At the museum, Nino, Alia, Aeon, and Jess try to set Marinette and Adrien up, only for Techno Pirate to attack. This leads to Cat Noir and Ladybug realizing they're both in New York, which means there's no one to protect Paris, which is being attacked by a monster right now. Jess and Aeon transform into Sparrow and Uncanny Valley, and they all try to take out Techno Pirate, while Ladybug is super mad at Cat Noir for not staying in Paris. Anyway, Techno Pirate escapes as Majestia and Night Owl show up, and Cat Noir kinda accidentally kills Aeon. Ladybug fixes that, thank God, but Night Owl wants the Frenchmen to hand over their powers, so Ladybug and Cat Noir escape into the sewers. This trip is going well. Adrien knows he messed up big time, so he just hands over Plagg back to Ladybug and runs off.
No!
I renounce you, Plague. I never want to risk harming anyone ever again. Least of all you.
Marinette is super sad, and is even more sad when Adrien is forced to go back by his dad. She tries chasing him to confess her feelings, but bikes really can't catch up with cars. Anyway, Gabriel finally gets his hands on the Eagle Miraculous, and he uses it to give Technopirate an even bigger boost to his powers. Using his new powers, Technopirate turns all the adult members of United Heroes into crazy people. Hell, Majestia is pushing the moon towards the Earth. So, it's up to Uncanny Valley, Sparrow, and Ladybug to save the day. Sparrow distracts the now crazy heroes, while Uncanny Valley goes and grabs Ladybug and Cat Noir. After reuniting, the teenage heroes set out to save the world, because Hawk Moth is obviously about to start World War III with a missile. But the heroes steal the Eagle Miraculous, and Marinette gives it to Sparrow, who puts it on to become Eagle. Maybe I should change my name 17 times in 30 minutes too. Anyway, Eagle turns the heroes back to normal. Ladybug frees Technopirate from Hawk Moth's power, and Majestia stops the missile. Eagle gets to keep her Miraculous, and Marinette gets to enjoy the last day of her trip with her friends. Overall, not the worst trip when you think about it. The Shanghai special opens in, you guessed it, Shanghai. We learn about Faye, the guardian of a magical stone called the Prodigious. She inherited it from her father, Wu Shifu, but evildoers killed her dad and stole it from her. But Faye is guardian of the cave that the villains need to use the Prodigious, and she won't let them get past her. Meanwhile, we learn that Gabriel has the Prodigious and is going to Shanghai to do evil shit. Standard Gabriel stuff. He makes Adrien tag along too, and Marinette uses this as an opportunity to visit her uncle in Shanghai so she can get some alone time with Adrien. That's a pretty expensive thing to do for a crush. While Marinette looks for Adrien, who's enjoying his day out in Shanghai, Gabriel makes it over to the secret cave. He just needs to transform someone into a villain now. Meanwhile, we see Faye in action for the first time. To put it bluntly, Faye is a nice person, but she needs money to figure out who killed her father so she can have revenge. To do this, Faye steals stuff from people in Shanghai, selling them off so she can eventually find out who she needs to go after. Damn! Unfortunately for Marinette, she happens to be Faye's next target. Faye nabs her purse, her phone, and her earrings. With no phone, no Miraculous, and no Kwame, Marinette is lost in the streets of Shanghai.
Now, I was just trying to find my way back to Uncle Wang's restaurant, but I was completely lost.
While Adrien is waiting with her uncle to surprise her. They're gonna be waiting a while. Meanwhile, Faye is convinced by the pawn shop owner to bring Marinette to the store so she can buy back her things. He'll tell Faye who killed her father if she does. I already know this guy's evil. Anyway, while Adrien transforms into Cat Noir and looks for Marinette, Faye finds Marinette and takes her to the pawn shop so she can buy her earrings back. But on the way there, Marinette's kindness makes Faye do a full 180. Instead of scamming Marinette with the shopkeeper, she steals Marinette's earrings back from the asshat. Evil pawn shop guy doesn't like this very much and sends his cronies after them. Marinette and Faye get away and make it to Faye's broken down temple. Gabriel is there, watching them from a hiding place. That's when the pawn shop owner shows up and tells Marinette how Faye is a thief and all that. Marinette feels betrayed, but Faye still whoops the guy's ass to stop him from getting any money out of Marinette. Gabriel then turns into Hawk Moth and sends an Akuma to the pawn shop guy, turning him into a villain. While Hawk Moth makes his way to the hidden cave and grabs the hidden necklace, Marinette transforms into Ladybug and steals it from him. While Ladybug deals with the villains, Faye puts on the necklace. She's gonna have to pass a test by this lion guy here to prove she's worthy of it. After putting on the necklace, Faye gets her own little Kwame-like creatures, and no one can see them but her. They give her the power to turn into multiple animals, and with Cat Noir and Ladybug's help, they take down the pawn shop guy. Hawk Moth is cornered, so he turns the lion guy into a monster. This backfires, because the lion guy evaporates Hawk Moth. The heroes try fighting it, but the lion guy evaporates Cat Noir too. No! Faye blames herself for this mess and says she's not worthy of this power. Hey, she's probably right. No teenager should have this kind of power. But Marinette gives her the classic believe in yourself speech, and Faye locks in. She combines the power of all of her animals to turn into a dragon. Okay, that's sick. Now in her dragon form, Faye teams up with Ladybug to return Lion Guy back to normal. After seeing that Faye was able to master the power of turning into a dragon, Lion Guy says she's ready and disappears, only to come back as her Kwame. With that, Adrien, Faye, and Marinette all turn back to normal and head back to her uncle's restaurant, where they enjoy a meal well earned. And that was our recap on Miraculous. Thank God that's over. But in all seriousness, some shows are so bad that they're kinda good. And Miraculous is so bad that it has no choice but to be good. I had the best and the worst time putting this video together, and I hope that you enjoyed it too. Be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe. We've got a lot more videos coming your way. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.